Let's see. If your connection is excellent again. It is. Well, where does it say that on here?
Top left.
Top left?
Yeah, it says.
Oh, that? That always says that, I think. Unless you're, like, doing it off your phone. I don't know. It's always said that on mine, and I got shitty DSL. So... Anyway, we're like 15 seconds live here.
What does the audience want to know about this?
Yeah, I don't know. So
all I can tell you is how much it costs to have Comcast in this area.
That's true.
And for what they're charging, this had better be goddamn exemplary internet.
Welcome
to
Coffee Before Bed.
Yeah.
I'm Pat.
I'm Will.
I'm Jeffrey, and before we started, we were talking about
the amazing wonders of gross anatomy.
Oh no, I don't want to talk about it.
I think this is absolutely the forum to discuss this if you like.
I'll just throw it out there that, having many different careers and going to school for microbiology, my favorite class in all of college was gross anatomy because you got to pull on tendons and watch hands move. And
Now, why is it called gross anatomy?
Well, the official reason.
It's like German. It's like great anatomy or something.
Well, no,
grosser anatomy.
The overall
E at the end.
I'm thinking when you say it's gross anatomy, it's like lining up
disgusting.
exactly with what I think it would be. It's like, this is horrifying.
disgusting.
Yeah.
No, you're talking about like overall, like when you're talking about like gross.
Oh, like the whole.
The
Yes.
whole.
Oh, okay.
Like
All right.
gross versus net.
Got it. Okay. All right. That makes sense. I never took anatomy.
Yeah.
So.
It's fascinating.
It's like the worst thing you ever dissected. So.
They didn't let us dissect. Well, I mean, we dissected the bodies to get to the stuff.
So wait a minute. These were cadavers?
Yeah. Oh yeah,
These were people?
full on people. We had 12 cadavers.
They were.
We
They
saw.
still are, Jeff.
I got to hold
Do they have rights?
a cancer tumor that was like the size of a softball.
Somebody grew that themselves,
They
man.
did.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
With Roundup.
That's fucked up.
But
The conversation is fucked up. Like, we
Yeah.
jumped in fucked up. You want to talk about tumors? We're going to talk about tumors.
I don't want to talk about tumors.
But I will just say the coolest part was using the bodies as marionettes. It was pretty amazing to see when you pull on this, it makes this bone move and all this kind of
What
stuff.
about like biology? Did you ever hear like dissect a dog?
No,
No.
Pig.
A
I did
pig.
a pig. Yeah.
you did the pig in high school. Wasn't
What
it?
about a cat?
No,
No.
I'm sure plenty of them did. It was vet school. I just didn't do that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's where the big vet school is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
I'm sure there was plenty of dissecting of all of them critters up
How do you
there.
dissect a horse?
Above my pay grade.
Okay.
With a medical chainsaw.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
with something that has like a pull start handle.
Something that's actually plugged into the wall. Yeah.
What was that movie that cut like the horse into a whole bunch of glass planes? Did you ever
That's a
see it?
movie?
And then it like pulled it all apart.
I saw an exhibition that was kind of like that, where it was the Body Works in Denver.
but there was
But
a
I didn't
movie.
see a horse where
God,
They basically sliced a horse on so it could fit on slides.
basically, and they like spread it all apart, and it kind of came
Yeah, I
off.
would have remembered that if I.
Hold on, man. This is Will, so I mean, this had to star like fucking Adam Sandler or something.
Yeah,
What-
we got to
what
narrow this
movies?
down. It's got to be after 2010.
This is
Yeah,
this
'cause
is like-
anything
trying
before
to
that
go
had
serious.
shit like special effects.
So what did this happen in Airheads? I don't know. What movie was it?
Was it
Uh,
Jackass 5?
Little Nicky
It was some sort. I can't remember.
with Brendan Fraser in it.
Yeah. John O'Reilly.
Was it Step Brothers?
No,
Did
it's John
they
C.
do it?
Riley, right?
Yeah.
Riley,
Yeah, my bad.
Did it happen in Step Brothers? Were you watching Step Brothers?
God, I will never watch that movie.
There's
again.
this guy in Jaws 2 who looks just like John C. Riley, but it's not him. I really wish it
Oh,
was
it kinda
him because he
weirds you
gets
out.
hit. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I think he survives, damn it. So.
He does some good movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
No, he's fine. It's just that
When they pair him up.
yeah, the restraining order that he needs to have with Will Ferrell is not been drafted, not enforced by law as it should be.
Well, there goes half our viewers.
What? Will Ferrell needs to be institutionalized.
No. This is
It was hard for you.
any audience sophisticated enough to listen to this knows that what we're saying is accurate.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
Yeah, Anchorman is a terrible movie.
It is.
Oh,
Yeah,
100%.
okay. So there's complete agreement around the table.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I've
all right.
managed to see it like 14 times because it was a Rig favorite.
It is. All those god awful movies are Rig favorites.
So I'm going to run to, you tell me if these are Rig favorites.
The,
Talladega Nights.
Oh, of course.
Joe
Hey,
Dirt.
I'm not on the rig.
Joe
You should
Dirt.
ask me.
yeah.
Well, no. Okay.
I know the answer. You should. This is much more fun.
Oh,
He has-
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw me some.
Well,
and
although
I'll-
he's just going to go down the list. And
Well, no,
then-
this is Jeff. He's going to throw me
Oh,
some
I'll throw
curveballs
you
because
some
it's
curveballs.
nature.
Okay. Let's see. I have to.
Now, if I get Schindler's List, I know he's. so.
Tombstone.
Ooh, probably.
I don't know. I know we would watch it, but I don't know if it's a favorite.
All I know is that with two of the guys I worked with, the outstanding rule was that if Tombstone was on, Tombstone was played.
Yeah. Okay.
But I think that's beyond a Rig one.
I don't think you can turn Tombstone off if it's on.
It's just a pretty good movie.
Well, okay.
Well, the first.
If you hang out long enough, you're going to see something you like. But sometimes you do have to sit through some stupid shit
Yeah.
to get to what you like, and that's fine because
That's an
the
interesting
good
first
parts
choice there.
are exemplary.
So there's that line in that where I'm going to turn your head into a canoe. I never understood that.
Well, because yeah,
Oh, so it would curl his. Okay.
right. Kind of like you remember Terminator 2 when Arnold
Yeah.
points the shotgun
Yeah,
right
he
at
just
the
puts a big hole in it.
No, the part where
when
it
he
splits
splits
apart.
it open
Oh, okay.
and turns it into a canoe.
So that turns your head into a canoe. Okay. All right. Thank you. I just felt stupid.
I mean, in that particular case, no, it wouldn't. It would just blow it the fuck up.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have
because
to use your imagination.
well, because
Well, Ike certainly did.
what was Wyatt packing at that time?
Well, it's a 45 Colt. So
What would
peace-
that do to a
peace
head
makers.
at point blank range?
Vaporize it.
probably the bullet would probably go straight through it. So
Oh, at that
yeah,
close?
yeah. It's-
What about the exit wound?
It'll be about the
Yeah,
size
it
of
won't
a
have-
50
Is
cent
it just a quarter?
Nah, maybe. Yeah.
It's got so much velocity still.
Yeah. It hasn't lost any. So
I don't know, man. Like, obviously, we're not on. What was that show where they would like test all the?
Mythbusters.
Sure. Okay, so we don't have like ballistics gel, so we can't
Test
draw.
let alone a human skull. You got one of those hanging around here
No,
somewhere?
you just take the block and you draw this like kind of face of like plan, and so it's a smiley face with a little beard and and you blast it point blank and you see if you would make a canoe. Okay,
I
so
don't
that
think
was
so.
that,
Anyway, all right. So that one's a maybe rig movie.
for me. It was
I think that's just an
Guaranteed.
all around good movie.
Okay.
well, there were all around good movies that weren't necessarily rig favorites.
Well, no, there's plenty of those.
So, say for example, let me ask you this one: Shape of Water.
Oh, they wouldn't watch that.
I've never even watched it.
They wouldn't watch that.
I don't think so in a million years. Don't they dance?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no way.
100%
Yeah.
not a Rick movie.
You say no?
No.
I think we've said no emphatically.
Yeah.
Okay. We got about 6 or 7 different versions of no. Okay.
Yeah.
So I did make them watch it.
I've never watched it.
And
so-
there wasn't too much objection, and I don't think it's as good as like some people do, but they didn't hate it.
But did they watch it again?
No.
Did you ever catch them? You know, somebody, you just walk into the trailer and he's like halfway through it.
grabbing the remote and
it would've
trying to
been me.
change it real fast.
It would have been me.
Yeah, okay, but nobody else.
No.
So that's a no.
So that's a no. You guys guessed correctly. Okay. Because I'm trying to think of more recent things. Okay. Ready Player One.
Oh, I would say no on that one.
No.
That
Depending
movie
on the person.
ran about 14 times
Oh,
in
wow.
2 weeks.
Well, to be fair, later on while we were there, they would show these movies nonstop.
Yes.
Like it got worse.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
for how spaced out it was, it would be on. Like you could literally find it every like 3 hours. It would start again.
But that's
Oh,
like
yes.
just the TBS formula.
Well, this
it was on
this was
HBO,
all on the
whatever
big channels. Yeah.
Okay.
So
And it was They were getting bad for some of the movies. Like you could find some of these movies on any time of the day.
Oh, okay.
Like it was insane.
Okay.
So how many different HBOs did you get?
6.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's your problem.
Well, and then all the rest of them, and
Well, yeah, there were 6 of those. 6 Showtimes, 6
Whatever.
Maxes, 6
Yeah.
Stars.
and there were plenty of times where there just wasn't shit on, even with all of those channels.
Yeah.
All right, so let me see.
All right, give us one more.
Ready Player One was a big one. Okay.
See, I think that one would be like more like how old the people are. So I think there's like a specific bandwidth of like age where that movie really appeals to people.
Well,
It
okay.
depended on who you were working with.
Okay.
Yeah, there was that, but you know, the other piece of it was still the expectation on watching it was this is gonna be stupid, right? But every time the response was, "Well, it's too fucking bad." So when it came on again, it would get another play.
Oh.
Okay, how about Sicario?
Oh,
Yeah.
I bet you they love that movie. I bet you they like kit themselves out like Sicario.
I got
I don't think the second one, but the first
Day of
one.
the Soledad.
Yeah.
Day of the
Okay.
Soledad.
The first one is revered. The second one was watched, but it was not
It was a big disappointment.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I bet you they all like the part where he shoots the chick in the first one, but she's wearing a bulletproof vest.
We didn't talk about it.
Yeah, I know
because-
you guys liked it though. It's like that's what you get for sticking your nose where it don't belong.
All right, maybe I'll give you one more. Let me see. Lord of the Rings.
No.
Oh, I don't know. Being a humongous fanboy, and I'm inclined to say that there's a few of them amongst even that crowd.
I don't think they
But-
would make the other person sit down for 3
Yeah.
hours.
Okay. I'm gonna go with
absorb
Will
it.
on this one. Yeah.
Okay. So here's a weird thing. Lord of the Rings was an MWD movie,
What
but
is
it
an
was
MWD?
not a directional movie.
I could see that more.
What is an MWD?
Jeff and I.
What does that stand for?
Measurement while drilling.
Or
Oh,
logging while
okay.
drilling specialist,
Well,
yes.
not the M.
So
Well,
you're the
no.
George Jetson in the computer.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
97% of the time. And then the other 3%, we were the most hated person on the freak.
That is true.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
So not favored among directional guys.
Lord of the Rings. Huh?
Yeah. Again, MWD's watched it. Okay. So
WD's watched everything.
yeah, but here was the thing: wasn't there like big time crossover with, say, like the Game of Thrones? I wasn't watching it, but was that not a
No, that was just massive.
big hit for?
That's the world.
Yeah, that's kind of everybody.
You're the exception.
Yeah.
I still don't care. But you know what?
Did you ever watch it all the way through?
No, he watched like 2 shows.
I watched like 2 episodes. I'm like,
Were
this
they
is-
the first two?
No.
no, they were in the last season.
Oh,
Hence the reason.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, the last season's pretty awful. Yeah.
Like, it seems that people have really soured on that show pretty hard. I
last-
never
the
hear
last
anybody
season
talk
was-
about it.
The last season, it was like the best example of a TV show that just absolutely jerks a rug out from underneath its audience. So,
They
Yeah.
said, "You're our fans? Vomit."
vomit yeah, all over.
Oh,
it.
that's fucking Last Jedi to a T.
Well, that's the problem. It was written by idiots who, I mean, because what the guy's name? Who's that fat dude?
The guy who wrote the
The
books.
guy who wrote the books.
Oh,
yeah,
Martin.
Yeah.
George R.R. Martin.
And those
R.R.
guys-
Martin. Yeah.
Um,
R.R. Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
what is
He
it?
is from Jersey.
And then
so-
it's Lord and Miller, I think, were the guys.
Lord Miller.
No, the 2 guys that were writing on that were
I have no idea.
Lord and Miller. Were
I have
those are
no
their last
idea.
names.
I don't know.
They were supposed to write a Star Wars thing until the last season of like Game of Thrones came out and they got the boot.
Wow. So they gave up a Star Wars movie to go do that?
No.
They got fired.
No, they were hired to write a Star Wars movie,
Okay.
right? But then the last season of Game of Thrones came out, and I got the boot.
Oh, also they got fired from Star Wars because they
Yeah.
did such a shitty job on Game of Thrones. What was it, 7 or 6? I think it was. Were there 7 seasons? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
I think that's
Yeah.
the story. I don't quite remember because this is
Yeah. Well, they
yeah,
deserve
I
it.
just didn't get it.
So, because like the entire series, you're set up for this big bad guy who just turns out to be completely useless in like the third of 7 episodes in
Yeah.
that season.
It was
And then the rest of it is just like, oh, let's teleport across the map now several times. And just, like, it was weird, man.
every opportunity they had to do something cool. They
blew
did
it.
not do it.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked about like movies and shows with disdain. You guys you're putting me to shame. You guys are.
That's years that you've.
That was a lot of investment to get to that point in
It's
time.
not just a bad
Yeah.
movie with a bad ending, or
Well, like the
but-
penultimate episode, the one with the Ice King
battle,
or
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, not the Adventure Time
Yeah.
Ice King.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no. I mean, like, before I even saw it, I saw the reviews of it, and one guy just tainted it for me. He's like, it's the darkest thing that I've ever seen. And I don't mean it's depressing. He
It's
says,
just
it's dark.
dark.
You can't see shit. And so I'm sitting there watching it, I'm like, he's right. You can't see shit. This entire thing. So,
and if you get a little glare on your TV, gone.
yeah, it's black.
There's nothing.
Yeah.
You're
So we're watching it in the trailers and stuff, and if you have somebody turns the light on, gone. You're just hearing voices.
Yeah.
There's literally
Well,
nothing.
in that episode, it's more like grunts and
Yeah.
scraping of swords. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Okay, so here's my question: was this all hindsight, where you knew it had gone to crap when it ended, or was there a discussion of like
No.
this is falling apart? before our
Every
eyes?
episode
Yeah.
was pretty much like, really? Okay, it's got to get better. Really?
Really? Yeah.
Okay, we're getting to the end. You got to really have.
Yeah.
That's how you're going to kill the.
Yeah.
That you're going to do that.
That's the end. So so that's how the chick dies, and
Yeah.
well, he doesn't get ate by the dragon.
Yeah.
It just decides not to murder him and melt the throne instead. It's like, the fuck.
You're just going to have the building fall and the castle's falling on
Yeah.
people, and that's the end of the Lannister. Like,
Yeah, I know.
It's just like- how are you doing this? Like,
know.
where are you sitting in a room coming up with this and being like, you know what? If a building fell on him,
yeah,
that would just be the perfect ending.
that's the best ending we can actually come up with.
And how is everyone else not going like, boss?
Yeah.
No, I think they should die in a fight.
Yeah.
All we've been doing for years and years and years is watching people fight.
Yeah, and die. Yeah.
Sure, you don't want to get a second set of eyes on this.
Jeff, I don't think you want to invest your time.
Well, no,
I think he already committed to.
no. Well,
Yeah.
it's not a committed thing. It's just that, look, I'm an outsider to this, right? So here's the weirdest thing is, so for what, few years? I don't know. All I keep hearing from everybody is that they talk about this. You haven't seen. It was like,
Yeah.
no, sorry, I haven't got into it. And I've never been in a situation where so fast it just disappeared from the public zeitgeist.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just became like, we don't talk about this.
Well, the people who were championing it for the most were the ones who were like the most pissed off.
Yeah.
And so it was like, oh yeah, so I'm sorry, I ran like the the Discord server for Game of Thrones Weekly. I'm gonna delete it right now. Yeah. So I'm gonna delete it.
You're gonna change the
So-
name of it to something offensive before you.
Yeah,
delete it.
and I'm gonna 86 my fucking Reddit account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're going
and
down in
yeah,
flames.
Everything.
You're posting goatsy. Yeah, I got it. I got
posted
it.
goatsies.
Yeah, no, you're. This is a suicide all around. This is your.
God, that's something I hadn't thought about in years.
It's
Talk
just
about
bad.
old school. Oh, you don't go.
But this is not a visual medium, and we're also not going to talk. If you know, you
Yeah,
know.
if you know,
That's-
you
That's
know.
all there is to
Yeah.
it.
That's fair.
So it's great.
Yeah.
There's plenty of things in my life that
It's a
I don't know,
1998 internet
okay.
thing. Yeah.
Shit, so I was like, if you don't know about it, you're actually a better person.
you're
than
good.
you are. This is
Yeah.
what was killing me was with the hubbub around Southwest. Did you see where 4chan got on their message boards?
Uh-uh.
Oh my god! So, all right, this is just delicious. So, obviously, we're aware that they were having the troubles,
Right.
right? And so the way,
Weather troubles for Southwest.
What was going on?
Oh,
oh, do you want to tell them about this?
so Southwest like stranded like half their flights
Uh huh.
over the weekend.
Canceled, delayed,
Yeah.
like 45% of all their flights.
Okay.
So according to the liberal media, It was due to the weather. According
No, hold on. So
Oh.
the first blame was this was an FAA error. The FAA responded quickly and said, "We're fine. We had nothing to do with this. Thank you very much." So the second thing was
the weather. What weather?
Yeah.
There were a couple clouds in the sky, but it's enough to ground half the planes.
They have a lot of planes.
They have a lot of planes.
Yeah.
The real option, or the right wing option, maybe, I guess, however you wish to play it. The people that are all getting fired because of vaccine mandates that's going to roll out for them at the beginning of December, their pilots and all their crew and everything else said, "We're sick."
Oh, so they had a sick out?
They had to sick out.
That's interesting for non-unionized airline. Oh, actually, no,
They
it
are.
is unionized. Yeah.
And they even got a bunch of the air traffic controllers because they're getting those mandates pushed too. And they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're..."
right.
And yeah, so
So
Do they have it fixed now, or?
yeah, it was just the weekend.
well, there's still some, you have to correct for when all that happens. So what happened here was, and this is where I started seeing, just enjoyment out of this, because I wasn't flying. If you were, a victim of this, God bless
Sorry.
you. My heart goes
Yeah.
out to you. I am not making light of you. What I am making light of is, so knowing that there was such a hubbub, the people from 4chan decided to raid the Southwest forums.
Southwest has forums?
They do. So it's essentially like
Check on your
post
flights.
topics, replies.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's low-hanging fruit for those guys.
It sure was. And they dusted out some. I am not going to mention what was coming up here. Okay, I'm not going to say what any of the topics were because they're not fit for broadcast. But I was dying. I'm like, this is some classic shit right here. This is the Habbo Hotel. This is like. These are the old raids. I have not seen a full-blown forum raid. And I was like, this is just warming my heart, man.
Why?
Because it's so fucking juvenile. That's why. It's just so childish, man. It's like, it's a weird thing. It's like, I don't know how to describe this except for the few times, like, when you'd see your father acting out of character.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So you told me, okay, remember when you said your dad was going boogie boarding?
Bodyboarding.
Okay.
He was big enough to be able to do it.
And he just had that smile across his
Oh, yeah,
face,
yeah,
and this
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like the most
Yeah.
enjoyable thing. And this is,
But he wasn't trolling people.
no. But this is what I'm saying. It's the same thing. Like if you're like your dad is very stoic, right?
Sure.
And you see him laughing because like there's this beetle and he's just kicking the shit out of the sand, and he just can't stop laughing at it.
Oh,
right?
okay.
You're like, you're supposed to be better than this,
Right.
but you're not. I can tell you're laughing like crazy. This is the same thing. I thought my dad was a very serious person, but then there's the first time he's like, "What are you doing?" It's like trying to hit that bee with his firecracker.
Yeah.
Like, huh?
Huh.
So
Oh, your dad was trying to do that.
yes.
I thought he was asking you.
Well, because that's the thing is they
I'd
come
be
out
doing
there
it too, yeah.
and you get the compulsory like light it with the big punk, right? And make sure that you're like over the edge of the car when you're doing this, right? And
Got it.
and then like one pack of black cats in after all the lectures, Dad's just like waiting for the wick to come down. It's like, I'm gonna blow up that bee, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you just see something that's so juvenile.
Yeah.
You're like, this is cracking me up. This is.
Yeah.
I didn't expect to see that in this day.
Yeah, no kidding. A forum raid is definitely a blast from the past. So, I mean, like, I could see it if they had a Twitch channel.
See, that's what we're talking about. This is why the whole thing comes around like, you have a forum?
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
It's
you done
weird.
fucked up now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me go register.
Well, I mean, who would be on the Southwest Airlines forums except for hoodlums,
Okay,
man?
so this is the thing, is that you look at this with what was going on that weekend,
Yeah.
right? So you come into this section, you're looking at this by time, and it's like, this is the worst service. I've been on hold with these guys for, so long. And then, like, the next topics start getting weird, and then they start getting into, like, I don't think there really was a trans person in your bathroom
Right.
and your son saw, and you've never been more appalled in your life. This seems
Yeah.
fake.
That's a little sus.
And then you get to the next one, and they're asking if people at Southwest have any copies of Battletoads. You're like, you guys have been rated.
Yeah, you guys have been rated.
It's like, let me keep going. Oh, it gets worse. Okay,
gets
got
worse.
it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm surprised they had a forum. So,
Right.
yeah, I bet you United Airlines. Well, they probably don't. So they probably don't know any better, and they have a forum as well out there because they're doing the vaccine mandates too, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know American was. I saw that one. So
It all is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, everyone's talking about how many fire department people are going to get laid off, and
Yeah. Cops
nurses and
nurses.
everything else, and
yeah, I saw some ridiculous stat that came out of New York. There was like thousands of healthcare workers left because of that. Like, I mean, some of it I can kind of see, but like if you're a healthcare worker and you've already had the COVID, it's a little ridiculous.
also if you're a healthcare worker and you're not getting it,
But yeah, what's wrong with you?
or what's
Yeah.
wrong with the vaccine? 'Cause
Right.
they should know. Like they should be the first one to be like, I'm
You
gonna-
know what? Okay, because it's not a question of like time, because you're like, hey Tim, do me up.
Right?
Yeah.
you're around it the whole time. You're
Yeah.
supposed to be preaching how good it is,
Yeah.
telling everybody that comes into your place, hey, make sure you get your vaccine. You're like, yeah, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Why? What? Why not? I can't say.
Yeah, I don't, yeah, I mean, like, so I've known a couple people in, like, the healthcare through that stupid class that I teach. That, even, they had no hesitation about it.
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess there would be some, it's like, why haven't you got it? What's going on with you, man? I mean, like the government contractors, I can see that one, because like half those guys are ex-military guys, and so half of those guys do what they told, and half of them will never do what they're told again. So
What an extremely accurate representation.
it's
of
totally
stuff.
true.
Wow,
man.
that's
So and then
my air conditioner metaphor has never been clearer. Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, I've seen so many people, like even the governor of Texas, was like, "Oh, you can't enforce that here." I was like, if you're a federal contract, yeah, actually they can't.
That's where it gets weird. Yeah, I know.
I guarantee
know.
you that's in your contract. So off you go. Now, if it's like a local police department, I don't know about that. I would think that'd have local jurisdiction, man. But like if you're a federal employee, like if you work for the IRS and Uncle Joe says get your shot, you can get your fucking shot. Otherwise, you're getting a new job.
Well, this is what I'm saying here. Is okay. So this is where it becomes problematic because, all right. Obviously, I think we all know that somebody's going to get sued out of this.
There's millions of lawsuits. Like, in fact, what's going to happen with there's going to be so many goddamn lawsuits that they're not going to matter. So,
well, until one does. Basically, like eventually, it has to get kicked up to the current Supreme Court.
yeah, maybe it just depends on the rulings on the lower level. I don't know, man.
But with so many,
I think with
something
like
has
with
to.
the federal government, like there's like no basis or standing. Okay,
Right.
on that one.
Right.
Like if I'm a federal contractor or if I work for the IRS or the FBI or something like that, they can tell me this is a condition of working here because I guarantee you in their contracts it's going to have a clause in there. You will do what we tell you to do, and if conditions change, we reserve the right to do
It
that.
just says like other duties listed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So, but like a local cop or something like that, I don't know. So,
Yeah, but this is the problem. Is it's the same thing where it goes with like the employment law thing, where again, as we've discussed, I cannot start the Church of the New York Giants to say, how come that girl gets to wear that headscarf for her religious reasons?
yeah.
I have as much faith in the Giants as she does, so I'm going to wear my stupid ball cap. They'd say, you're dumb. That's clearly not a religion. Get out of here, right? So they're filling out the religious exemption forms like crazy, right?
Yeah.
And this is the thing is, I don't know how this is going to play out. This is why I'm
don't
saying that something here is going to find its way to the higher courts, and
It might.
it all comes down to who's on the court.
Yeah, it could. So, but like,
they vote on party lines.
No, there's no party lines in the court. The court's actually split
No.
3 ways, man.
Yeah,
So
but,
you got 3 different groups on the court. You got a conservative branch, you've got a strict interpretationalist branch,
Yeah.
and then you've got a strict constructionist branch. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Those 2 people like often like line up against Clarence Thomas and his ilk. And say, well, it doesn't say that in this, this thing that we're supposed to like uphold. So
Right. There's nothing in the rules that says the
Right.
mule can't kick field goals.
Right. Yeah. And so, I don't know, man. And then the court's been really good. I don't know. I haven't been watching as closely as I used to, but they've been really good about just like kicking things back lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
like, nah, we're not playing this game. Off you go.
Yeah,
It was like, no, the lower ruling's fine.
that's true.
They've been doing that a lot lately.
Oh man, yeah.
So I don't know. Like, I'm sure there will be some stuff that comes up that's due on vaccine mandates and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'll take 3 to 5
Right.
years.
It's gonna.
So
I
COVID
know,
won't
I
be
know.
a thing by then.
I can only hope so.
I-
Look,
uh,
man,
The numbers are looking better.
They're looking better.
They're looking a lot better.
there's a whole continent that's still locked down.
Oh, Australia, and it's 17
They're-
million people.
They're
Yeah.
weird, man.
Yeah, they're kind
they
of weird
just-
down there, man.
I did not think that they would go that far. Like, I
Well,
never
it's like-
thought of them that like.
Yeah,
I
I
thought-
turn it basically into a prison colony. Hey, looky there, history.
Yeah.
That's a long time for that circle to come all the way, man. That's,
Yeah.
I mean, Cosmic Scale, no, but
That's knowing your roots.
yeah. Well, it wasn't until I saw pictures of like kangaroos reclaiming the streets.
So what does Australian lockdown mean, though? Like, you can still go out to the store and shit, right?
They banned a lot. Like,
Yeah, there's a
Well, I
lot.
thought it was
have
like
to
no
have-
concerts and
You'd
stuff
have to have
like
like
that
permission to
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
to leave your house.
Like,
Is it the whole continent, or is it like just certain cities?
I don't
know.
Don't quote me on this, but to my understanding, it is Australia. But then again, Patrick, like, what is Australia? What is the
It's
actual...
British Texas.
Well,
So, yeah.
all right. That's great.
Yeah.
But more
They
so,
would
like,
restrict how much alcohol you could buy. Like,
What, in Australia? That sounds like grounds for revolt.
that's what I was waiting for.
bro,
Well-
they had played like that existed before this, because they actually had programs where it's like, all right, Aborigines can't buy
Can't buy what?
booze.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
What?
they had. Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, just Australian regions.
well,
Yeah.
okay. Just all right. So what? So this is something that everything that you hear about the way that they're treated is essentially like that's inhumane, right? But then when you hear Australians talk about it, they're like, you don't know what it's like down here, right? So it's just. What was that?
But Australia's tiny, man. Its
That's-
population's like half of Canada's.
I know. That's
So-
what I'm saying here is.
And it's huge.
So why would you freak out about COVID?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, I mean, that's why I was curious if it's the whole country or if it's just certain cities. So if it's like downtown, like super progressive Sydney, okay, I can see this. If it's like Alice Springs where Crocodile Dundee lives, that's crazy. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of part of that is like, where do you choose to enforce this? Like, obviously, you're going to do that in Melbourne, and
well, they have a more federalist system too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
but yeah, it's happening. Yeah, I mean,
Now, is most of the shit over in Europe now? Do you guys know?
yeah, recently, like I think places like Ireland started to let up.
I haven't heard for a while.
But I was surprised, like, you guys are still. And I guess it was the cycles of it's like locked up, you're free to go.
Locked up.
Locked up, you're free to go.
We're thinking of lockups.
We never had a
lockdowns,
lockup
man.
here.
Well, the quarantine.
Well, what happened with quarantine? I mean, you can still go to the store.
Yeah, but that was that's their lockdown too.
So this would have.
Oh, okay. So they're not like China
Not-
lockdown
not
where you get
like that.
welded into your
Yeah.
house.
So-
All events, all like the bars were closed.
Oh, okay.
All the social anything that you do with
Yeah.
people.
How long did that last here? I think it was like what, 6 months? Bars? Because I think they closed in late March and they were open again by Christmas. Or maybe it was new
It
Thanksgiving.
was before.
Yeah, you're right. It was
It
before.
was before.
Yeah.
I think.
It was only a couple months. Yeah.
I'm really starting to lose track.
Yeah, me too.
April was, or no, it had to been.
March was
March
when
was
toilet
when-
paper went missing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So March was when it happened, and then God, when
I think it was April they shut the bars down. And they said, well, they'd be open by Easter. And then that didn't happen. And then the summer rolled around. I think it was only a couple of months because we were back in the bars by summer. Because I remember watching football. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was nobody in the fucking stands. Yeah. So they had to angle the camera towards the fucking, yeah, so you couldn't see all the empty bleachers. Yeah.
I like that you just have a new like unofficial measurement of like distance between like when did I watch football?
Right, yeah.
Is that a measure of like time or distance? don't
I
know.
think it's both, yeah.
Basketball,
Gross
like a
weight,
parsec,
yeah.
It's Star
A
Wars.
parsec, yeah.
basketball was all TV people in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, in baseball, they put like big stuff.
Oh
Bears
yeah,
and
you,
shit
well
in the-
you
in the
could get
stands.
your
Yeah.
own face on like
That's right.
The
Yeah, like a
thing.
popsicle
Yeah.
stick. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Like people here didn't like really freak out that bad. I mean,
no, they were trying.
they were trying, but like even well, I don't know about like the rest of the country, but like here locally,
Oh yeah,
yeah, everybody was actually pretty chill about it. So
I think I only had to wear a mask for. I think I only did it for a month, maybe.
yeah, what like at home?
No, at
Oh.
at the store.
Oh,
It-
I switched to Instacart, man.
Oh, yeah,
So,
yeah, you didn't even
I haven't been
deal
to a
with the
grocery store
world.
since COVID was a thing. So I love it.
You know what? I guess I should measure this from when I actually went to the gym last.
Oh,
Because that was just like, you guys are gone. Like, that's why I had to spend a whole bunch of money in like one afternoon, because as soon as that happened,
everyone was buying.
yeah.
oh yeah, yeah. They cleaned the place out of weights. So
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Weren't you looking for plates at the time?
Plates could not be found for a
Right.
while. I bought the ones I did,
Speaking
and
about coffee cans full of cement,
yeah, some people were doing that, yeah.
making prison weights. Yeah,
Yeah, no, definitely. What I do know is I mercifully pity my Amazon guy, because
Oh,
I would, when he showed up with 835s,
oh man.
and then when he showed up with 445s,
No wonder you took out your mailbox.
that was before then.
You're right. It
That was way
Yeah,
before
yeah,
then.
yeah. You're right.
That was before Christmas.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
way before COVID. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it took you what, like 2 months to get a new one?
Oh, it was
Longer
a
than that.
lot longer.
Yeah.
Longer than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this like a positive thing? Are we reminiscing about?
I don't know. I just
Or is this,
I'm trying to get the timeline straight, and then like, so if Australia's not like a full down lockdown, man.
Yeah.
I mean, are they freaking out about it? And like here, like
They had like 8 cases.
I thought that was like New Zealand that had like no cases, and they still freaked out too.
Australia was pretty low. Like
Yeah.
it was like 8 cases per 100,000 or something like that.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just like
That's mathematically insignificant.
Yeah.
yeah.
What
I'm
is-
sure.
what is
I'm
the-
sure
no.
my numbers are completely
No,
wrong,
go ahead and
but-
do the 10 times math. What's the parts per million on that?
80.
That's pathetic.
Yeah, well, it's nothing to worry about. But I could be completely wrong on my math. So
Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, regardless.
But yeah, I
So-
guess that's what we were doing. Is are we remembering this like fondly? Is this like I remember? Or are we like going through this like it's trauma? Like this is like
I don't feel traumatized.
VFW.
about it.
I never felt traumatized.
Well, I didn't
loved
know
it.
anybody who died either. So I
that's
don't know
true.
anybody
Yeah.
who directly died from it.
That's true.
So I know a couple of people who got fucking really close, but I don't know anybody who's actually. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So I don't think you were gonna die. It was just a question of whether or not you were gonna be a vegetable for a while.
I have no idea what my possible outcomes were. I never actually discussed that with anybody.
because they didn't
Medically.
know how to help you. Your
Right,
brain was
yeah.
still fucked up. They could like press on your stomach and ask, "Does this hurt?" And you'd say, "Chicken."
Oh, I was hoping I. Oh, was hoping I'd laugh like the Pillsbury Doughboy, but
You may have.
I might have.
Yeah,
No proof that you don't remember shit from that. So
The doctors had a lot of laughs from it, I guess. I don't know.
But I don't know anybody directly who died from it.
that's true.
I mean, well, that's not. I don't know of anybody that I knew. So there's possibilities that people that like you know, in the
true.
past and stuff that you don't keep in touch with may have gotten it, but I haven't had anything come back to me. So on it, you know.
Oh my God, Mr. Jim, I'm dying from COVID.
Oh, that's too bad, Greg. So
Well, he said it was exacerbated by my obesity, but I don't believe that.
no, I don't. I'm sure there's been somebody. I don't know though.
Probably, but you know what? This is
Nobody in my immediate circle.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's in the same vein of every now and then I'll get a report of like somebody from elementary schools like they're dead.
Oh, really?
You know, in that same kind of way. I feel like at this point, like a COVID death would strike me in the same way because of how far the people are that are detached from me. That would be.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, we'll just like statistically, you should know about somebody because it's what over 700,000 deaths in the United States.
Yeah.
So in theory, if you had a social circle, well, you'd have to have a social circle of what? About 300 people.
I don't.
Nope.
Well, like it would depend on your like Facebook and shit like that and stuff. You know?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't have that.
Yeah. I mean, and none of us do the social media thing. Well, I mean, I do, but it's like not Facebook, and so you know, it's one of those things where it wasn't really hard for me to amass like 400 contacts on that. Okay, just based upon people I cross paths with over time. So,
Well, you're also a teacher.
well, yeah,
So
but you know, well, and yours will grow too over time. So,
Yeah, but I guess I have a pretty solid distinction where I draw the line of people that I know.
right.
You know, so we're talking about extended conversations over an extended period of time. Otherwise, you're just that dude that works at the Come and Go.
Right, yeah.
Would you consider anyone you know somebody you've never met in person?
No, I know people that
Okay.
I can measure the hours that they've paid for talking.
I know you're pretty good.
Well, I mean,
But-
like if you meet someone in video conference one-on-one, isn't that technically like quote meeting them?
Depends.
Okay.
Like, it depends on what you do. If it's just like, hi, I'm Jeffrey from Colorado, and this person says like, hi, I'm Greg from Texas, and if you're just in the conference, I don't know these people. They can say like, didn't we see each other? It's like, yeah, we did. That's as far as it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. So, I mean, I even have students because I've had so many of them now that I'd recognize them by face, but there's no way I could actually tag names to them,
absolutely.
so I wouldn't really consider them contacts. Although if they hit me up for something, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I'll help you, you know, kind of thing.
Well, Patrick, I'll do you one worse, because for me, it was 45 minutes a day, 5 times a week, times the entire year, and I'm still in that position, like, I remember your face.
Yeah.
I have to think about it really hard, but I saw you every day.
I actually did have one kid that I was teaching in 7th grade make it all the way to my college class. It was
That's
weird.
pretty
It was
cool.
weird,
Wow.
man. It was weird. Yeah. It was weird. It was like, I think I know you.
Who made the connection first?
I did. So, yeah. So he didn't get the ball. yeah.
Oh,
And I didn't have the big old beard back then either, man. So, you know, I just had the
that is
goatee back
way
then.
different.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird,
Yeah.
man. Yeah, yeah, because that was 2009, 8 or 9.
Yeah, but at this
when I was
point-
teaching 7th grade, man. Yeah.
No, you're talking about trends. Like, this is the weird thing when somebody commits to a lifestyle look change, right? You remember how in that first Matrix movie, Neo's bald in the sack of like pus, but his residual memories put hair on his head because that's how he remembers himself.
I don't. What?
Okay, so when
Didn't he have to grow that hair?
well, he did in the real world, but when
Okay,
he
yeah,
went
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Matrix, he didn't appear bald, even though he was bald, because his memories were of
Him with hair.
Right.
him with
Okay.
hair,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? At this point, I only know Bald Jeff.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I've got pictures of not bald Jeff, so he did exist.
I know that they exist. Yes, I'm well aware of that. Look, just because I haven't seen your guys' faces in 20 years doesn't mean that I don't remember when you were, beardless.
Sure, yeah. I don't remember me being beardless.
My kids, the only reason they know me is because of our wedding pictures on the wall.
See, I had my beard in my wedding, or I had my goatee. I had that before I even met my wife. I shaved it off once, like maybe a year after we got married. She was like, "Grow it back."
I shaved mine off once because they said that the inspector was going to come out at the rig and make sure everyone could wear a face mask, and they had to press their face.
This is mandated by work.
And so I shaved it all off, and every time I say I'm going to shave, my kids are like, "No!"
No.
I'm like, "Oh, come on, it'd be fun." No. Okay, I guess you guys are pretty adamant about that.
Yeah.
No, when I first started working with you, you didn't have a beard, you didn't have a goatee, you didn't have anything. It was just
No.
You can grow it.
shaven.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't think I grew mine till. Let's see. When was I married? I probably had mine maybe at 20. So.
okay.
Yeah.
So 98?
Ish. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Probably a little bit later.
I don't know, because I'm pretty sure I had it when we went to New. In fact, I know I had it when we went to New York because I got the pictures for it, and that was 2000.
That's when I would have been 20.
Oh, okay.
That would have been when he was 20, because we wouldn't have had
Yeah.
all the bar trouble.
So I would have been like, yeah.
We don't want to tell that story, do we?
Ooh, yeah, that story, huh?
Yeah, and actually, I've got my first year of college ID, and I'm clean shaven in that. So
96?
something like that.
Or 97?
96, 97. No, it would be 96.
96,
Yeah. So, jeez, freaking old, man.
There's only a few years I actually remember the year.
Yeah, the actual year of graduation,
Oh,
year of
wow.
college graduation.
96, 01, yeah.
01.
Well, okay, so for those of us that were born on an even year, so
Oh, that's- yeah.
because I was born in 80, I can remember these things super easy.
Yeah.
So it's like, when did you graduate? How old were you when you graduated? Oh, okay, well, if I graduated in 98,
Math.
but that is
Yeah.
my only saving grace when it comes to actually knowing how old I am most days. I don't even think about it.
I don't really think about it.
Yeah.
Like, I have a hard time like doing something that I used to be able to do with ease. So,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
Okay, there's that. But then again, I'm lifting a lot more weight than I could when I was younger. So
Yeah, that's true. So, I don't know. I was climbing up on a ladder today. I just really felt sick. So, and I was like, I used to do this all the time. And today I was like, I'm going to die. Sitting there trying to hold a light bulb in over my head. And I had to put my arm down like every 10 seconds because I'm like, oh, my hand. Just falls into sleep instantaneously, man.
We have one of those extendo ladders, and
The one with the cord on it?
yeah,
Yeah.
and at our old house up in Loveland, the woodpecker pounded a hole in our chimney up near the top.
Wait a minute. Was your chimney wood or?
It had siding.
Oh,
so
okay.
it had-
Yeah.
And so it went in there, and it would actually put a hole in.
Yeah.
And so I read that you can put metal, and so I painted the metal the same color as the house, drilled some holes in it, and I was like, I'll just screw this in up there. This was back when I was drinking, too. So, of course, I was nervous, so you have a few drinks. And
How high up is this, William? like
it
30
was up on
foot?
the... Yeah, it's not... Oh, God, I don't
how
think
many
it's 30.
Williams did it take to get to that spot? Standing
I
on your
was probably
shoulders.
8 William.
That's
7
48 feet,
No.
man. Yeah.
No, probably like 25 feet.
Okay.
So I was up there. I'm holding a drill. The metal up, so I have no hand touching like anything, and my back is arching, so that, and I'm like you said, I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
It's also right up on the edge of your house that has the fence like 5 feet behind you,
Yeah.
and you're just like, yeah, this is good. And then I got down, and I was just dripping in
yeah.
sweat. I was like,
Did you have the?
oh, I was
wobbly
shaking.
hand?
And I
Oh,
was like,
man.
Did you have another drink?
I did, actually. Yeah. So, yeah, that was, I don't know if even as a kid I would have felt comfortable doing that one.
You know, I mean, like, I've never been too terribly comfortable with, like, heights. But, like, if I will sit out there for a few... Because, like, when I was a kid, Dad used to tell me to go up on the roof and do shit because he didn't want to. You know, kind of thing.
It's a fair thing.
So I would sit out there for, like, 5 minutes, and I'd just kind of get, okay, this is fine kind of thing. And then I'd, you know, clean the gutters or whatever. I remember painting our trim one year, doing that. And I was okay. And then, like... Even like the house that we had over here off by the school a couple years, well, geez, it was 10 years ago. I remember getting up on the ladder and I had the same thing, but I was actually on my roof. All right. And I was on my roof and I had like this gutter that, you know, needed to be cleaned out and it was wet. All right. And it just like kind of like spring snowed kind of thing, but enough of it had melted off. I was like, this isn't a big deal. I can get up there. So I put my boots on and I get on the ladder and I get up there. And so I'm on the pitch of the roof. Okay. And I suddenly realized that the roof is, well, I knew this, but it's all shake shingles, those wooden ones.
Oh,
And it is like a fucking skating ring. And I have no idea how I just stomp right up there. And as soon as I get up there, I'm like, I'm going to die. Because I was like, how am I going to get down?
the getting down part.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me if any of this rings true for what you're talking about. Okay, so I am deathly afraid of heights. Mm-hmm. I deal with it. I'm like, all right, whatever, this sucks. I hate it. I hate every second of it, but I hate heights. The problem is I can remember a time when I was younger and it didn't bother me at all. I would be on the roof, didn't bother me. I could look up. We would jump off the roof.
Wasn't even a jumped off the roof.
Yeah, wasn't a problem, right? But eventually, I was scared to death. The same thing goes like, I hate bugs.
Oh.
Okay? But I can tell you, when I was younger, not only would I just like catch them, I'd catch in my hands, I'd look at them, I'd play with them.
Yeah.
Right? I'd eat them when I was very young. I don't recall this, but I guess it would happen, right? It's where my parents said, I believe it. It's like, because it's you. It's just a living thing, eat it. But now at this point, I see bugs that I'm revulsed. I hate these things. And that's what I'm talking. I cannot remember an incident where the insect chomped me or, you know.
Well, my wife had, she was in her car that was outside and she turned it on and all the moths that were in the vents came out at her one. So
It's like the episode of the X-Files.
So her hating moths, I totally get.
I would not
I don't
have cared
mind
about them,
moths.
but I can't stand them now.
I catch them now. I just release them. So I do the same thing with spiders in my house. I don't squish them.
I don't
So
have many bugs in our house.
really, way out there on the prairie.
Yeah.
So well, you got rattlesnakes and shit. You got there. Oh yeah, you do.
In tall houses.
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah.
There's nothing near us.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wouldn't trust any low-hanging deck out there.
There's nothing there. There's nothing.
Yeah.
That's all been killed off.
Oh, okay, yeah, maybe.
We don't even have a squirrel. Like, there's nothing.
We don't have any trees.
That's true.
Y'all had chipmunks out there for a little bit.
Chipmunks are cute.
There's some sort of rodent thing that I guess that's underground that gets people's lawns.
Voles.
Voles. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I never heard it until I went over to my mom's house. She said, I have a vole problem. What's a vole?
What's a vole? Yeah. Things like tremors.
That's the thing. There's like 5 in the alphabet of.
Yeah. But like to your point, I can't think of any phobias in my life that have changed. So like I didn't like heights when I was a kid. I don't like it now. I don't like snakes ever. I still don't like them. I haven't picked up any new ones, I don't think. But I don't think any of mine have waned either.
You know, it's weird. And the thing is, I just don't have incidents with it because there was a time where, I'm going to say this, I've always had, like, I don't want to say a phobia of driving, but there's always been a certain, like, respect for the road I've always had that makes me drive defensively.
Was that before or after the ladder incident?
Before and after.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, no, actually, the latter incident made me feel, I don't want to say like invincible for a little bit, but I was no. I'm saying that because like it's the same thing where if you don't like bees and then you get stung by a bee and you're like, oh, well, I survived.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's
like-
just annoying.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
just like, come get me, bitches, right?
Well,
So,
yeah, but then you're still every time you see a hornet.
I got stabbed in the face by a fucking wasp.
I hate them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still do the same. I flinch through the yellow jackets by my house all the time, man.
Never been stung yet by anything.
Don't say that out loud, man.
Ah,
Yeah.
They're not.
I have no
Yeah,
problem
yeah, they are. They're
jumping the
flying
gun.
assholes, man. They just heard you.
We're gonna get that guy.
Yeah, we're gonna get him.
He ain't been got yet.
He ain't been got.
You don't know.
God, I saw my cat playing with one of those earlier this year, and I was like, "That's not gonna work out for you." But man, she munched his ass. So
Yeah. Elvis just ate one hole. He just snapped it. But yeah, I told you about this. That was I brought him home. He went outside. I went up with him. He was taking a leak on my shovel, and a wasp just kind of flew up right to his face, and he just snapped it midair while urinating. Just it's like I do this all
like
the time.
nothing, yeah,
This is how you multitask.
yeah, I guess.
You know,
So,
like people that dissidents people have like. So I did work with a bunch of guys that grew up on like farms.
Mhm.
So there's this like distinction where it comes to it's like, okay, well, if you want to eat chicken, we have to kill chicken.
Oh yeah,
So there's this disconnect of like, okay, you can do this. It
Yeah.
doesn't bother you. And the same thing is where this dog is like, yeah, I eat a wasp. So what
Yeah.
of it? I do this all the time.
yeah. Yeah, no, man. I mean, it's like I thought for sure my cat was gonna get stabbed. So
Thought so, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because cats are stupid like that,
Mhm.
you know. But she
Dogs aren't always too bright
she
either.
munched him down and just didn't get stung. I was really impressed with that, but then still, it was also like, well, I'm glad it's not my house anymore. You know?
Yeah,
In fact, put that out on the stoop so the others get the hint. So,
Yeah, that's not this place.
that is this place, yeah. So no, the previous place was the one where my brother and I pulled on the cable on the side of the house, and ripped
That's what
through-
I'm remembering.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we ripped
Yeah.
through an entire hornet's nest, and they just like formed that like classic like Looney Tunes cloud.
it actually looks like a giant wasp.
Yeah. And we ran into the garage and closed the door, but not enough time to close the garage door. And
Yeah.
they kind of chased us in there. Yeah, they were pissed. We didn't realize the nest was even there. It was kind of like
That's-
below ground,
Exactly.
you
yeah.
know. But we pulled on that cable to get rid of it, and they had built the entire like hive along that cable, and we just ripped the whole thing out. As soon as it happened, we're like, "Oh, run!"
Part of you that kind of wishes you were gangster enough where you're just kind of like, yeah, I knew it was there.
Right.
And I was like, it's like telling the wasps, like, sucks to suck.
Yeah.
But it's not like that.
No, it's not like that at all. Yeah.
Sorry about your houses,
Sorry.
assholes. It's my cable and it's got to go. If you
Well, it
build
wasn't
your
even
house,
my cable, man. It was just an extra cable that was laid around the house. So
So
and we just
stupid.
decided
Yeah.
to rip all that shit off there because,
Yeah.
of course, like the previous owners had Comcast come in and
Yeah.
like wrap your house in cable like
what
they
the
do.
fuck? Yeah, I know.
I know,
I
man.
know. Like they're
So
gonna bury it in the ground with all your possessions and your
Yeah.
organs pulled out through your nose. They got to go around you so many times. Man, I got so I've gone through Comcast and I've gone through like DirecTV and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I still have a fucking vacant satellite dish on top of my
you still have
house.
a satellite dish on your house?
Yep, I have
Yeah.
had. It's not like when you cancel, you just cancel. They're like, okay, well.
Yeah, they don't send a wrecking crew out here to take
They
it.
don't. They don't send over some dude with brass knuckles like, we need our property back.
I've had it.
Gladly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got holes,
Yeah.
drilled in the house for where they.
Yeah, so my current house has got a lot of holes drilled in it because I can tell that they've strung like 3 different types of cable through it throughout the years.
Fucking annoying.
There's like one piece up by my deck. It's got like a splitter that's got like 8 things coming off of it and shit. It's just like, and oh, so I got my house painted this year. They just painted right over it.
Good for them, man. It's just
It's like, thanks, guys. I wasn't gonna rip it out anyway, so at least it's not hideous now. So,
you know, it's funny. I bet you a lot of people's like, oh, we paint over these all the
I
time.
bet you.
That's what we do.
yeah.
Well, if you direct your eyes about 95 degrees left, look at that metal plate on the wall.
Oh, yeah. The phone jack. Yeah.
What a waste of space, man.
Oh man, those are in like every room in my house, man. My house is built in '86, man, and so it's completely decked out. Yeah, it's completely decked out with
State of the art. Yeah.
Yeah, state of the art phone cord. You know, the like when we redid my windows, like all the wiring for the original burglar alarm were still in there. You know, where it actually has the contacts, you know, in between, and they're all hardwired and shit. So,
Oh Christ.
yeah, they were like, "Oh, do you want to keep this?" I was like, "No."
Oh, man, okay. So there's a particular joy that I do have with those jacks. It's just a memory of when we got the second hard line for
Right.
me, right? Being able to dial your own modem in the house so you could play multiplayer
Yep.
was it's like you were in the future.
Yeah. No, that was like one of the first things. My dad might
Yeah.
have had a 1440 baud modem, but he got a separate line for it almost right away. So, yeah.
God.
Oh, no, my dad was the internet guy in our house. He was the one on the Genie boards, like as soon as they came
Oh, yeah.
alive, and then Comp USA, and what was it? Well, no, it was
Prodigy.
Prodigy. There
Yeah.
we go. Yeah, Prodigy. But he was on Genie boards. He was like, "This is the internet. It's cool." You know, I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "Talking to people like in, you know, Texas." And I was like, "Okay, about what?" You know, model trains. I was like, "Okay." So, and it was only later when Jeff and I were like, "You can play Doom over this. Fucking sweet."
Oh no! Well, okay, so I was hanging out on BBSs and stuff way back then too. It's just a program called Procom and Procom Plus, and you do that kind of stuff. Same kind of thing from way back when. Playing those little modem games like cannons and catapults, and yeah, go ahead and
Cannons
use
and
it.
catapults. I do remember that. Oh, sorry.
Oh no, that's quite all right. We done used it all up. That's what it's for. And the big game was this game called Trade Wars.
Oh, I remember that game.
Trade Wars was
Ruthless.
quite sweet. For all, I mean, Will is obviously there's no graphical interface, so your ship was an asterisk. Shit like
Oh
that.
shit! I remember playing Empire. So
Yeah, dots and
dots and bees.
slashes
Bees were
and-
battleships. Yeah.
Oh.
yeah.
Yep. Man, you see, and like, think about that. We were there when that all happened. If you had just learned to code back then, man,
Yeah.
you would be like
Come on.
the fucking Google guy right now.
Yeah, I was telling Jeff that started my new job, this actually shadowing people and feeling like a complete fraud.
Why?
All these other people, even like the trainee guy that's with me, have been coding and stuff since they were kids, and like
Oh,
all
really?
this stuff. They talk everything about the lingo. They can read the code. They can do all this, and I'm like,
Well, they can teach you.
yeah, but the trainee guy is there like, so they're like clicking through the whole job like in lightning speed because they
Yeah.
all know every program,
Yeah.
everything, all the lingo. They know to look in the file path and see that this goes here and this goes there
wow.
and all this and this log and this, and I'm like, I missed you after the second time the mouse moved off the screen by accident. What? So I was just like, man, I'm like, I'm 40 something, and all these guys are like 20 something, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dude, okay, all right, I gotta get to work.
Yeah, I know, but you'll learn it.
I'll learn it,
Yeah,
but-
you'll learn it.
Well,
So,
counterpoint. You all get paid the same though.
That is true.
why is that a counterpoint?
Well, because even though they have circles and miles of knowledge, they still make.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, the other kid's he's still in college and had already had 4 internships.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, dude, I've never seen this stuff in like live form in my entire life. Like,
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, like, I've had a lot of computer science students over the years, and they kind of come in like 2 different flavors from what I can tell. So you have those that, like, they just kind of naturally get it, you know? And then there's the others who really are really good at faking it. I mean, really, really good. But really when it comes down to it, if you ask them to do something simple, it's not something that they've like rote memorized kind of thing. They can't do it, or the brain just doesn't click like that.
Well, the one guy that was teaching me was going for his master's degree in mechanical engineering.
Nice.
So I think he knows his stuff pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, ooh, okay. They ask me questions. I'm like, I'm figuring it out. I'll get there.
Hey man, fake it till you make it. It's actually a strategy.
I got in the door. That's all that matters.
Yeah, no, you'll be fine.
I tried to get myself fired in the first couple of days. I dragged a.
You and that N word, man. You just will not let it go.
Did you drop an N-bomb at work?
What did I do?
Oh, we got to talk about Coach Chuckie. Anyway.
I dragged a. We were supposed to inspect potential viruses and throw them in a sandbox where it runs and doesn't harm anything. And I dragged it into the wrong spot, and it opened on my computer. And I was just like, "But mine's showing all this." They're like, "Oh my God, you opened it?" And I'm like, "No, oh God, I did." So this is how you get fired in your first week, huh? And they're like, no, we should be good here. And I'm like, oh God, my stomach sank and everything. And I was
get hit
like,
up with a Bitcoin.
I know. And then they checked it out and it was clean and all that stuff. But I was just like, oh, dude. But
yeah, you never double click a win.exe. Yeah.
I will definitely be the story that they can be like, so he came from this. It is now this. So you too can do this.
I actually did my annual cybersecurity training for my school this week.
Just don't click on
Basically,
stuff
it is the most
from people you don't know.
So like now that I've got the dual monitor command station set up, which I'll never go back to the other way. Yeah, I love it. So I got YouTube on the one, all right? And this thing that I'm supposed to be paying attention to on the other, all right? And I'm like, all right, I think I'm actually pretty good at this shit, all right? And so let me just, I'm going to watch what I want to watch on YouTube, and when the test comes up over here, I'm just going to take it, okay? It was so elementary, man. I mean, it was like really basic stuff, and it was like, like identify the phishing email.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this one's got an exe file in it. Check. All right. This one comes from a different domain. Check. Okay. This one wants me to enter my personal information. Check.
This one's
Thank you, Indian
$6
scammers.
million.
Yeah.
I watched all those videos on the Indian call center scams, and I was like, okay, I can identify most of this stuff. And it was just like, I was sitting there thinking about this. I was like, this is such easy stuff. And they're teaching us this. That means my colleagues don't know anything about it. I was like, if this was really a threat, So
yeah, I remember. Yeah, there was this series of action figures that I bought years ago, right? And they had like parts like they do, right? And there was only one of them that said, don't put this helmet in your mouth. But all the rest of them didn't have the warning.
One went in the mouth.
It's like, some motherfucker tried to eat Rao's helmet. Because it doesn't say that on the rest of the
right.
Oh,
Yeah.
And they all have stuff. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. All right. I guess here's the thing: is I can feel bad for people who get got. Okay,
Sure.
I can, and look, I'm not. I don't want to bring my own mother into this because she knows not to click on any of this shit, but she panics over the dumbest stuff, and I know your mom does too.
She's much better. So.
Oh, she was a wreck when.
Oh, after my dad passed, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
But my brother and I, we did a pretty good job of like just training her, and then she got to the point in time for like the last 2 years, she would ask me, is this something I need? I was like, no. So, and then now it's the point in time. Yeah, she's about as good as she's gonna get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you have to ask a question, you probably don't
Probably
need it.
not. Yeah. No. So
Just because they're that part of like if you don't. I got in so much trouble at work when I couldn't believe I told him this philosophy. Not at well, I did it at Baker sometimes too, where it's like you come in and there was so much cross-department chatter that
You block emails?
I got in trouble for that too.
Yeah, me too.
No, it was when I told him my theory was because they just so many people get CC'd on this.
Oh, yeah.
And so I said, all right, fuck this. I went to the little box at the top of the corner. I clicked it. I deleted everything at the start of the day. They said, you haven't been reading these. Like, if it's important, they'll send it
It'll come back. Yeah.
That is unacceptable when you tell your boss that.
Yeah. I did the exact same thing at that first unnamed school that I taught at.
Oh, yeah.
So we would get fucking daily briefings every single day from like 9 different people who are 2 offices away. Okay. And then I remember once my dean, she confronted me. Well, why didn't you do blah, blah, blah? It was in my email. I was like, you mean that 3-page email that you sent that I deleted before after I read 2 sentences? She did not like that. So,
Shocking.
yeah, and I was like, I was a little pissed at her too, because it was just one of those things. It's like, you do this every day and then you get mad when nobody reads it. And so, 5 bullet points in an email is a good idea. But she just had to elaborate on everything. Over communication is always better than under communication. I'm like, actually, no.
You get lost in the
yeah. It gets you ignored. Yeah. So, yeah.
And then you have those people who don't use paragraph breaks.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. That is one thing I will roast students on their papers for. So, every single time.
Yeah.
I will kick it back. And I was like, this is one ginormous paragraph. Break this up so it's not as offensive.
Yeah, I was just like, I'm not going to read this.
I do that all the time. That's my grading philosophy now.
Yeah.
So if I, get halfway through a paragraph and it's just riddled with mistakes, I kick it back and say, clean it up and resubmit. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I just give it zeros. So on it. I mean, in my class, you can resubmit things an infinite number of times. I don't care. Okay, but I'm not going to I mean, if I'm going to give you an A on something, it took me like 8 seconds to read it, kind of thing. You did everything I asked you to do. You're good.
Well,
so
just okay, but also there's the other part of you also got to the point.
Yeah,
God
bless you. God bless you. Yeah. So
you're talking about under communication versus over communication. If you get to the point in 3 sentences. I might say, okay, well, at least acknowledge that there's a counterpoint to this.
Yeah.
That's 1 sentence. You say they're wrong.
Right.
It's like, there are people, who like field hockey, but these people are dumb. Right? It's like that sentence too. It's like, right. All right. Now we got a paper. Great.
Or French field hockey, also known as lacrosse. Yeah.
Are you rich?
Are you rich?
White?
Are you white?
Did you go to one of these schools on the East Coast? You don't give a fuck about this sport. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah. No, I would do the same thing. I haven't done class presentations in a couple of years, but when I used to do those, I'd give them a 5-slide maximum. Each slide could have no more than 5 bullet points on it. And the first slide must be a title slide. There you go. So, and after a while, I got really strict. I was like, no colors.
No colors.
Yeah, it needs to be black and white.
Oh, I can't do that.
Oh, no, this is actually called the Shinseki slide deck, okay? So, and I learned this in my PhD program from one of the guys who was military, who was like up at the academy and shit. And so he would actually do these like really high-level briefings in the Pentagon.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's really cool. But anyway, he was actually like, he told me that like 10 years or... No, this is more than 10 years because I've been in a program almost that long. So, yeah, like 20 years ago or whenever, when this guy named General Shinseki was the Joint Chairman Chief, he had a 5-slide rule. And it was 5 slides, 5 bullets on each. First one must be a title slide. No colors, no fancy fonts.
Oh, you're killing me.
Well, no, the whole thing is designed to, like, don't sell me the sizzle, sell me the steak. And so get to the point and, don't waste my time.
Well, as a graphic designer, that hurts.
Right, I get it.
I can't.
I know, I get it.
I wouldn't eat off a menu that was like that in a Mexican restaurant.
No, because when you go back to your metaphor, like, Will went to, like, Sizzle Academy.
Right. Yeah.
For people majoring in sizzling,
Substance. What the hell about substance?
All right, I have a question. What are we at?
We are at $1.14.
Okay, so we're going to aim to trim that down just a little bit, because we've been creeping up.
Well, I think the other night you and I were at $1.40.
Yeah, and we got into like 2, so we're gonna.
We got to switch gears to football.
Well, so you wanted to talk about Chucky, right?
Well, I want to hear Will's take on Chuckie Football, because you know how I feel about Chuckie. I said something before he got Black Me Too'd.
You did.
So
okay.
all right, and so like just to put my stance out there on this one, one of his guys on Tampa Bay kind of like summarized Chuckie for me perfectly the other day, and he like really put his finger on why I don't like the guy. Okay, it has nothing to do with the emails and stuff like, because I hated him before that.
Right, you did.
So, but what I think it was, who was it? Was it Keyshawn?
Keyshawn roasted him, but
Was it Keyshawn?
he said stuff. Yeah, he roasted like it was one of the ESPN highlights that he.
I think,
roasted him.
yeah, I think it was
didn't listen
Keyshawn.
to it.
So anyway, what Keyshawn said was that the guy's always been a fraud. He inherited a football team that was fantastic, and he rode that all the way to where he is now. And I was like, thank you. All right, so
It's interesting how it came out. And then once it's out, yeah, there's nothing you can.
That genie doesn't go back
Like,
to the bottle, right? It doesn't matter how it got out; it's out.
well, is it how it came out kind of shady, or
So there's 650,000 emails they went through for the Washington football team.
how many of them were reply alls?
The only thing that they said was suspicious is these emails.
Out of 650,000?
Other than there was some that they got for Dan Snyder that they've already fined him for and stuff like that because he had like naked cheerleaders pictures and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I've always heard that's kind of shady.
That's pretty shady, yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I mean his whole relationship with his cheer staff.
Yeah. So, out of all these other emails, the only thing that gets released are all these ones on Chucky. And he's also said that he basically said, fuck Goodell
Yeah.
in some of these emails. And so it's like, did Goodell just go through all these and be
So
like,
wait a minute, Gruden said that?
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
this was one
And I
like,
guarantee you, he's not the only person that said it.
no, and there's probably a whole lot of other stuff in there.
But why is Gruden communicating with Snyder? They're not even on the same
it
team.
was Bruce Allen, and he was talking about like the strikes and stuff like that. And so he was, I don't know if he's got a connection with them from the past or stuff.
Oh,
but
okay.
he was talking to him and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, what he said was,
What?
it's
I can't even. Okay, so the original article was in the Journal. So, and the only thing that I saw in there, like, he didn't drop an N-bomb.
It was N-bomb adjacent.
Yeah, so it was.
I mean, the
then
rubber
he tried
was
to-
the size of Michelin tires.
I get that, but then he tried to say, well, I say that for anybody who's
Anybody
like a
who's
liar.
lying.
I was like, I have never heard that. It was like that explanation makes no sense and is coming from somebody who's a fraud.
Yeah.
So,
But, I mean, he lost his locker room, so there's nothing you're gonna,
Right.
there's nothing
Yeah.
you're gonna do about it once it's out there. So,
well, and the Raiders in particular.
also, it's an email. You can't do stuff like that.
It is stupid.
Yeah.
You can't leave
Yeah.
a paper trail for stuff that, especially when you're teaching your people that you're doing all this stuff. Don't leave a paper trail. Don't hit send. Don't hit go. Whatever it is.
Right.
For
And
all
Think
this
about
kind of
that
stuff.
before you tweet it.
You don't do it.
Yeah, that's true.
So-
this is the NFL, so it's like check for cameras before you slap your girlfriend.
Don't do it in an elevator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he gets it, but it's also very fishy. But-
Yeah.
and then, like, I heard.
Well,
some
it
of the-
seems like it's like a random strike,
Yeah.
that just came out of nowhere. Like, is there timing involved with it, or,
Well,
like,
and then I heard like on some of the Fox stuff, they're just like, "Well, your halftime show is full of people that are going to be saying all these offensive things left and right, and you're supporting all that." And I'm like, "That's way different, buddy."
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I get you're trying to stand on a platform and say, "Hey,
Yeah.
it's okay for some people to say it, some people not, and this that." But I'm like, yeah, you can't have the head guy of your football team saying this because you're going to lose some of your locker. You're just
even
not
if it was
effective
like
anymore.
10 years ago?
I think if it was 1966, it would still be a problem.
Yeah.
Really? I mean, well, it's nobody who's like nobody
There's
would
no
be coaching
email.
from them.
Yeah, nobody's
there's no email.
fucking writing a letter and then putting the wax seal on it.
Yeah.
It's the
They
JT,
did say that on the
Yeah.
fan I was listening to. They're like, oh, I'm sure Vic Fangio has some of that kind of stuff in his email. And they're like, no. The only way you find that for Vic Fangio is if you go in his closet, unpack the letters, blow off the dust,
Yeah.
and there you go.
Yeah.
We don't even know if he sent an email yet.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't like the guy, but there's also something about it that just seems a little fishy. So, I mean, unless it is just like serendipitous kind of thing and it immediately came out, but if someone's been hanging on to this for like 6 months or something like that.
It's been a while. I can't remember when the investigation started, but I mean,
Okay.
to go through 650,000 emails is
Sure.
gonna-
Well, you just search for certain words, right?
Yeah, you just control F.
Yeah. Control F. Yeah.
well, I don't.
Yeah, you can also control F Goodell and see like he's
Goodell.
my buddy, or
Oh,
Oh,
shit. You
yeah.
can Control F Kaepernick in there, see what he had to say about him. So
that'll answer.
That's
your
why
question,
I'm sure
but, yeah.
there's so much
Yeah.
stuff that could come out of 650,000
Yeah.
emails to
that's
an
a crazy
owner.
amount of email.
I mean, good lord! You think of how many other coaches or other owners or other things have like emailed back and forth.
Yeah, no kidding.
Bro, think of just the minutia. Think of going through those.
Barbecue on Friday.
Oh, no, I'm not even talking about that. How many of those emails are like, "That sounds good, do it"?
Right,
Or,
yeah.
like, I disagree with that.
Oh, probably fewer than you think, but
Well,
I'm
I'm
going to
telling
guess
you.
like a lot of them are like, like attendance reports and
Well,
shit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Attendance reports, but also like a whole bunch of like, Bud's the guy who works facilities. He might have a spare one of those.
Right, yeah,
Right?
exactly, yeah.
You're going through 650,000 of these things, and yes, you are gonna. If you're gonna research it, yeah, you're gonna Control F,
yeah.
and you're gonna type in certain words, and if you get hits, okay, like if you get hits with certain words, and the discussion is, I don't want to hear this word used in my locker room again, right?
Sure,
Doesn't
yeah.
make the news.
Yeah, no.
If it's this guy's got lips like tires,
Yeah, and that gets out and makes the news.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just kind of interesting because, like, on the Thursday night game, Tony Dungy was out there defending him.
What did
know?
he say?
Oh, well, he's a great guy, blah, 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 stuff
Oh,
like that. And then who's the other guy that's with him?
I don't get to watch Thursday Night Football.
Well, he was Chuckie Football's co-host on ESPN for years. And he was like, "Oh, I've never had any like inclination of this."
like
blah
Mike
blah blah.
Tirico, or
Mike Tirico, yes,
Yeah.
it was. It was Mike Tirico. Yeah, and then the next day he's gone. And so I was sitting there watching that game on Thursday. I'm like, the NFL is going to close ranks around this guy, which is really, kind of. I thought it would be really counterintuitive based upon like the whole Kaepernick thing, and I thought for sure that he'd get ostracized, but no, they were trying to close ranks on him that night. And then the next day, yeah, like the other Chucky who owns the team.
I think if you want to go back on this, I think like Donald Sterling proved that it doesn't matter when you said it, or what the occasion was, or how private it was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like this is like you can't record this.
It's
not in
an
this state.
irredeemable sin. Huh?
It's like this is a crime. You have to have both parties consent, right?
Oh.
Because it was in California.
But that's a basketball owner. Like they were talking about, can you do that to a football owner? Because I mean, like Snyder stuff, like the cheerleader, all like they got so much stuff on them, and they're like, there's a $10 million fine,
Right.
and it's like, well, okay,
Right.
there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a spare dollar in my
Yeah,
wallet.
right.
Here you go.
Right.
You just shake that out of my
Yeah.
couch cushions.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
It's like a salt. He like throws it on the ground. So pick it up. Pick it up.
Yeah.
Pick it up, son.
and they're like, huh. They did it in basketball. I don't know if you could do it to football. Like,
Well,
'cause
no,
these owners, they back each other like insane.
Well, it's all Jerry Jones. So isn't he like the Nexus? So he's the Diablo on the bottom
Yeah.
level,
Oh,
kind of thing.
right. So
and they're like,
anything that it goes through me. I'm like,
Well, that's what I hear. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but I've heard that there's like this cabal of like 5 or 6 coaches, and Jerry Jones is the guy who kind of keeps that
well,
all
they're
together.
like, man, if they got rid of Snyder and Bezos went right into Washington, God, the NFL would never, like, they would drool
Bezos, oh my
nonstop
God.
to have that guy sitting in Washington. Like,
Well, he's already owns the Washington Post, man. So why does it always come back to Bezos?
he's got the most money and doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but my question is, who would be like 1988 Bezos?
1988 Bezos, Carl Icahn, or gross.
Ugh.
Or who was the guy who owned GE? Wasn't it Jack Welch? So
No idea.
these are 80s creeper Wall Street guys. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
like who's 1995 Bezos?
Oh, like Steve Jobs.
Not at that point.
Yeah, no, not at that point.
No, that's when they were throwing around the iMac.
That's right. I remember that. So with the different colored monitors.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
they were really trying to.
Yeah, you
find
remember
it.
those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when the computer lab had a separate Mac lab. That's where the cool kids got to hang
Yep.
out. Yeah.
That's not what we called.
That's not what we called them either. Yeah.
In fact,
There's a word that we cannot use on the podcast, even though the South Park guys use it all the time.
well, it came from those being those guys, and they were using the Macintoshes,
The Macintosh. Yeah. Yeah.
and they were the black and white screen Macintoshes.
Remember those?
They're like, oh, look at you, you're playing Sim Earth. How
Oh,
cool."
yeah. You're playing Spore. You know?
Oh, well, not for 10 years.
What? When was Spore?
Spore? Yeah, that's
Spore was when I was in college, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
That's what I'm talking about.
2005.
Well, that's where I'm talking.
2005?
Oh,
No, it was earlier.
It was
That
before that.
Spore did not come out before
Yeah, it was in college.
2000.
Yeah.
Spore did not.
I don't
come
know.
out before
Yeah, all
2000.
right. I don't remember playing it in college. I'll put it that way.
I thought I didn't play it, but I thought some of
Yeah.
the kids in the dorm played it, which would have been the only reason I knew it.
I don't know. Those were kind of like, what
But
was...
then that would be 96. There's no way.
Yeah, these are kind of like early, like Call of Duty. No, this Call of Duty's actually later than that. Come to think of it.
Yeah, that's like 90.
It's like Medal of Honor days, man.
Yep.
So, yeah. Storm in Normandy. So,
Medal of Honor, Allied Assault.
assault. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, if you're talking like 96 to 98, that kind of thing, like you're talking about Unreal had just come
Oh,
out.
yeah,
If
yeah.
you,
Quake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sin was supposed to be the next big shooter. Didn't, you know.
Yeah, it's terrible.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, like Unreal.
How did we get on
was
that?
like
We were
2000.
talking about football.
Fuck knows.
Yeah, I don't know. That one just...
No, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just.
Oh, we were talking about 80s owners. That's
Yeah, I
right.
was trying to find. I'm trying to find like previous Bezos. Like I can find you a Bezos in like 1930.
Well, 1995, Jeff Bezos was definitely Bill Gates. So,
Yep.
yeah, there we go.
Okay,
So,
100%.
and he's still number 3 out there. So it's now Musk, Bezos, and then Gates. Warren Buffett has kind of fallen off the wagon, I guess. And then Zuckerberg is right on his ass. So until they tear apart the Facebook piece
Yeah.
by piece when Donald Trump gets reelected.
Yeah, like the.
Oh, it would be cool to see what a vindictive.
Oh, that'd be horrifying,
shoot.
dude. What are you talking about, man?
Oh, after the
So-
boredom of what these years are going to be.
They are going to be boring. That is true. So they are going to
I mean,
be
it's
boring.
just whatever little chaos thing is going on, but
They're not even passing any of those bills. They're going to leave them up to high and dry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I'm not getting any student debt relief, damn it. It's the only thing I wanted. So
I know you were.
I was pretty emphatic about it. I was like, yes, I know I'm not getting this from Donald Trump, so I'm going to vote for Joe. All right. So because there's a chance.
this
All
just
right.
goes.
There's a chance. Yeah.
Dude, you were championing Biden like some kind of like hidden gem on Netflix. It's like, dude, you got to check out this Biden guy.
Right, yeah. That would be every single night, yeah. It's just like, did you see what he did? It's in Politico. Let me show you. Here, I'm going to pull it up on my phone. What's your email so I can send it to you?
Jim, I know this. I know you want to vote for this asshole, okay? But you don't have to vote for
Yeah.
this asshole. And let me tell you why, right?
So, yeah, he's got this infrastructure plan. Yeah, great. So, it's the best thing ever. So,
Shocking, I didn't get any of these selling points.
No.
Yeah.
We were talking
I
about
was a
this.
lost cause.
Yeah.
Lost cause, yeah. Absolutely. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. So, I mean, there's like, it's like, there's so many people speculating on it right now, and I was sitting there thinking about it. I was like, wait a minute. 2022, 2023, 2024. This is going to be a long conversation.
Yeah.
Just think about how much shit has changed in the last year and a half.
Uh-huh.
All right, so to actually call something 3.5 years out is fucking nuts. So absolutely crazy. So
It hasn't been that long of a tenure for this guy,
It
but
hasn't.
it feels
Yeah.
like it's been
Eternity.
a decade. Like,
I know,
I don't
man.
mean it like that. I'm just
So-
saying, like, all right. The details of how COVID and the aftermath of COVID will probably be the most important part of this, right? They are going to be talking about other things. They're going to be talking about Afghanistan.
I don't think that'll be a thing in 3
Well,
years.
it'll come up. That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
'cause they will-
I don't even think so. I
There's
mean,
footage to use. I don't think
Yeah,
it'll be a
they're
big
going to
deal.
show some of this.
I'm not saying it'll be a big deal, but that's going to be the commercial blitz.
Well,
Yeah, I doubt it.
because it's going to be so
Yeah.
many things in a row. That they're
there's
just
going to
gonna
be something else that happens between now and then that's going to make COVID irrelevant, and it's going to make Afghanistan irrelevant. So, it's just too much time. It's just too much time, and like the whole Afghanistan thing, I mean, like even now, like most of the vitriol you hear about is like contained in Hannity. And that's about it.
It's because
So-
it's been a period of longer than 6 days. You have
Right.
to move on to. You have to move on to the next biggest thing ever. Yes, and I understand that there are asterisks and flags around that.
Yeah.
And you have to declare that once a week.
Dude, I watched CNN, because I just threw it on while I
So
was
bad for
working,
you, man.
and I was just curious because Fox is going on about all the shipping stuff, all the this,
Like
that,
just
that,
drinking
that,
chocolate
that.
syrup, like,
And I was like, okay.
it's so bad for you,
I was
man.
like, I wonder what CNN will be talking about. All CNN is talking about is January 6th.
What's going on January 6th?
That was the
Good
revolution.
point. That was the insurrection.
Yeah, the insurrection.
Oh, the 800 people who
It's-
showed up
It was like
so they
have,
could be TikTok famous.
they would have like 15 minutes every
Yeah.
hour about January 6th.
Stupid,
I'm like,
man.
it's not even
No,
news.
it's not news.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah, calling that an insurrection is like an insult to insurrections.
It absolutely
So,
is. Yes.
and it's like one of those things. I think the best explanation of that entire thing that I heard is the dog caught the car and didn't know what to do.
Tell me, I want you to say with any degree of honesty that those people there were trying to capture the government and
It's
install
insane.
new leadership.
I think that there is a small group of people there who were organized. They had no intention of taking over the government. They just wanted to capture Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you. I don't. Okay, if they found her,
See,
like,
and that's another thing. Nancy Pelosi won't be a thing by the time the next election comes
No.
around. Yeah. She's too fucking old, man.
I know,
So-
but I'm telling you, whatever deal that she's made with the Eldritch gods okay, has.
You're right. I forgot about the supernatural.
Yes, has been pushing that living corpse far beyond the sell-by date.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you would, like this milk has got to go. You would
Right.
not. You can't sell that.
No,
That's a
you gotta
crime.
get it out of your fridge. Otherwise, it's gonna start like turning other things alive.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Like this is a party that I normally associate with, right?
Yeah, sure.
Typically, at some point.
Yeah.
Okay. This was a cool party for a while, but man,
It's been a while.
somebody around here just fucking brought their worst friends,
Yeah.
and they have fucked it up for everybody.
Oh well, yeah. So yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to see some kind of turnover in that in the next couple of years. So there's gonna be other issues that come up that anything that's happening. Just because, like, honestly, if you look at the COVID numbers, they are doing a lot better, and so it's probably not going to be a thing after this summer or after this winter. Yeah.
But you have to stop selling it like it's the worst thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, that's going to have a backlash on it. So, and then that natural backlash is not going to be strong enough to actually carry anything all the way to 2024. Honestly, the thing you want to watch for 2024 right now is probably inflation. So that could
Yeah.
absolutely fuck up an
That'll-
election.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Now, I am a fan of inflation at this point in time. I love it. It makes my
Because
house
yeah.
worth more and it makes my debt worth
Yeah.
less. I am in the exact right life stage moment where inflation is fucking sweet.
all I can tell you,
If I was retired, it'd be bad. If I was looking for a house right now, it would be bad. But I'm not looking for any of those things. So it is great.
what I can tell you is Bitcoin is currently valued at $61,869.32.
Yeah, it's got about
So-
$1,000 to break the record, man.
So,
Holy
uh,
cow!
So
I'm
yeah,
Kidding pretty.
Inflation is
cool this
great.
week.
Yeah.
I'm cool this week, right?
Wow.
I am mining like a motherfucker. But yes, I can also see how we're so white because like there's this part of it where because we're not considering like, yeah, but that dude's just trying to buy like bread and he's getting way less bread
Yeah.
than he was before. Right?
Wages are coming up though.
Not fast and not comparatively. enough.
If you churn a little bit, yeah, they're actually really good. So right now, and then like everybody's been talking about like quote the Great Resignation and stuff. We are just seeing the beginning of that.
Dude.
Okay, that is I can tell you just based upon my experience with my students that like I keep in touch with a lot of them. They are churning like motherfuckers right now. So all my graduates and stuff. I'm seeing people post up jobs that it would normally take them like 10 fucking years to get. And they're like, I'm like, good for you, dude. Yeah.
Well, hold on. Tell them. Tell.
Oh, yeah. So my company just sent out an email. Said, hey, we noticed that the market's been, kind of crazy and that wages can be, it's been a kind of crazy year.
Yeah.
We're actually going to go through each area and check out the wages. And if it seems like our wages are low, we're going to give you a bump.
And you've been there a week.
I know. Like, what a great company.
My dad went from 1981 to 1997 before he got a raise.
What?
Yeah.
That's a true story.
That's
huh?
a true story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And how many times did he have to take a cut?
Oh, he took lots of cuts.
Yeah.
over the years. Yeah. So people who bitch about the labor market right now, it's like, hey man, I feel your pain and I understand, but it can get so much worse. It can get so much worse.
Having girl problems, I feel bad for you.
Yeah, you have girl problems. I'm so sorry, but you know what?
Oh
There's lots
my
of fish
God.
in the sea, kid. So and it's like the one group of people that my heart does kind of go out to is people who are trying to form households. It is a bitch to buy a house right now.
Yeah.
I totally get that. I mean, like I just look at the appreciation of my neighborhood alone. And I mean, like anybody who was in a position like, my wife and I were 15 years ago when we bought our
No
first house,
chance.
there's no fucking chance. There's no fucking chance.
Bro,
So
I read something this morning that 80916 is
fastest
in the top
growing.
10.
It's number one.
Yeah.
Number one. This zip code just south of us here is the number one, zip code to purchase property in the United States right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is one of the last zip codes that actually has somewhat affordable housing, that's in a major metropolitan area. Denver is fucking done.
And
Oh my
if you're
I
if
know.
you're number one, you're not going to be long.
You're not going to be there long.
that's-
Yeah. Because people just jump into it. Yeah. So all that land around Mitchell that used to be, like do not park your car here, it's gonna be exactly. It's gonna be great in like 5 years.
It's like, hey, forget I got it. It's like, I think I saw a kid walking around with a grenade.
Right. So
Guys, that is not the city we live in. It's just, it happens to be slightly worse than the neighborhoods that we live in. It is not.
And that's where that S Curve Hill is with Hill Park, like stab
That
apartments.
place,
Murder Hill. Yeah.
That's so stupid, but it's right. That's right up there with Scam Track and Scrub Foods. Yeah,
Scrub
that's
Foods.
good.
Yeah.
And Scumberland Farms. Yeah,
That's a topic for another night.
yeah, yeah.
All right.
I'm cooked.
We're at
on
$1.38.
coffee. Yeah,
I'm done
that's
with coffee.
pretty good for
that's
us.
pretty good.
We
We
trimmed it down.
we had one last thing. So
What's this? Oh, yes.
yeah.
Give me, William, I'm looking for your lock and your shock of the week. NFL, who is your lock?
So my lock, and I will do it against the spread because I'm a gambler. Packers -6 against the Bears. There's no way Justin Fields will have 2 good games in a row. And my shock of the week will be, I don't know if it's a shock because they're playing the Dolphins and they are terrible, but Jacksonville has lost 20 in a row. They will get a win this week.
wow.
Even after the Urban Meyer debacle?
Even after Urban Meyer. Miami is terrible this year for whatever reason. I don't know, but they are a disaster. So, Trevor Lawrence will get his first win as a 3-point underdog.
That sounds pretty emphatic.
Wow, do I
Yeah.
like that. Man,
I think I'm going to change
authority.
my picks. Yeah,
No, that's insider trading.
you're right. All right, I
Hey,
guess
there's millions of shows.
dude, you know how far back I am in our league?
I'm like number 4.
I know. That's why I'm going to change my picks.
All
right, man.
15 out of 16 one week. I was so proud.
Yeah, no, man.
You don't always have to come with football, but make sure that you have one of these when we
I
see it.
can
I mean,
have
if you want to come crazy and say like, this we got it with hockey. I got this basketball.
Hockey was on TNT. The Avs were on TNT.
Oh, so I watched that. Yeah,
Is that good or?
I am blown away that they are on TNT.
like real cable
you used to
network.
have to find, what was it, NBC One or some sort of
The
Oh
offshoot?
yeah, no, like FS1 and
The root.
Well, not the local,
Oh,
but the national
Yeah,
thing was on
yeah.
like NBC offshoot 5.
so if they're on TNT, is that good?
Yeah, I'm blown away.
Oh, okay.
TNT does basketball,
Yeah.
so like
Sorry, I don't know
they did
anything about hockey.
hockey. I was like, what is hockey is on.
Is it because basketball?
here?
Oh no, there is no basketball. Right? No, there is basketball.
It's starting up
Yeah, it's starting.
this week.
Yeah. Are you excited about that?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I love basketball, so.
Still?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
Until the Nuggets go back to sucking, yeah, they're good. They're
Okay.
good. So
All right.
so
Okay.
they won't have TVs in the stands anymore, so it'll be much better.
Okay.
Yeah, I've converted my basketball love back to hockey.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Hockey
Yeah.
is my jam.
Hockey's your jam. Well, my baseball's about to end, and then I'll be 100% football.
Yeah, there is football going on, and
And then
I'm a big like Matt Jones honk right now.
Okay.
He is the future. That dude just does not get flustered, especially for being a rookie. His accuracy is crazy. He doesn't. After a year of watching like Cam Newton molest the football, because God knows he doesn't know how to throw it.
yeah.
And I swear to God, every single time like the snap came at him, he's studying the field like he's trying to pass the fucking bar, right? Because he just would not. He would not get into the ball. So just seeing this change, I'm a happy guy. That the games that they've lost have been A, they've been mostly close, and
Yeah.
B, have not been mistakes by the quarterback.
They should have lost to Houston.
They should have lost to
They
Houston.
should have lost to Houston,
Yeah.
yes, or very close. But then again, they also should have won against Tampa Bay.
No.
Missed field goal. Come on.
Yeah, okay.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's
I
a
don't
coin
know.
toss.
I don't think
man.
the game
That's-
should have been that close.
I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
So-
here, like these have not been blowouts, and you're looking at. They've had a lot of turnovers, like in the red zone, and it's mostly been like fumbles and stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, this you can fix. You can talk to or remove the personnel that cannot hold on to the ball, and you can make these corrections. There's a lot of promise in that team. I like it.
Yeah. I don't.
I root for
yeah.
them to lose every week.
Yeah.
He's
No, I
fucking dick. I know, and
I don't mind him, but I'm not too terrible.
I was
impressed.
really close to making the lock.
So
Dallas -3
Yeah.
against the Patriots.
Yeah. Well, that's probably going to happen this week.
I've got money on it.
Oh, yeah, no,
All right,
all
good
right,
enough.
so
Yeah,
that's a great
that's
final
a
word.
great
So
final word.
it's bedtime.
Yeah.
You are,
I'm Pat.
you are,
Will.
and I'm Jeffrey. It's bedtime. Have a great one. Like, comment, subscribe.